Yeah.
Are we up to the games yet?
Yeah, we are.
Now we're up to games.
Whoa. All right. I have 5 games.
Okay. Not just random categories.
5 games, but 70 categories.
Perfect.
Now, some of the categories have no games in them.
That's okay.
But I'm still going to read the categories.
All right. Your favorite Switch game of the year.
My favorite fishing Switch game of the year.
Okay, good.
This is one that I have no games in.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Keep reading the categories.
Okay. My least favorite fishing game on the Switch of the year. It's another one with no games in it.
Hello Kitty fishing.
All right. Wombat, go first.
Oh, I'm going first?
Yes.
I put down as my 5th favorite game of the year, I put the making of Karateka, because I really like those museum documentary games. And this was this year's. They're made by Digital Eclipse, who were recently purchased by Atari. In 2022, they did the Atari 50th collection, which is stellar. And they did another one this year with Karateka, which was very unique. It does have the game on there and a remaster of the game on there, but it's really just about learning about those early days of video games and all of that fun stuff that's in there that I get very engaged in, and I really like them. And I think it's a nice little interactive documentary. They already announced what at least one of the ones, if they do more than one, for 2024, which is going to be Jeff Minter.
Okay.
Jeff Minter story is the next one. Yeah. So I'm really excited for that, because who knows? They've had a game. They've been my number 5 game 2 years in a row, and I'm curious to see if they could do 3.
I found myself just thinking about Space Giraffe when I was driving around today.
See?
Like, it just came into my head. I'm like, Space Giraffe. That was a thing that everybody was into.
Mm-hmm.
Not me.
Oh no, you were in a Space Giraffe. I remember.
I was. Fuck.
Yeah,
I thought I was cool.
You had a
I was
t-shirt.
too cool for Space.
No, you had a t-shirt.
It did not.
Yes, you did. You used to wear it on the bus.
Stop it. My number 5 game is RoboCop Rogue City.
Look at that.
I finished it, but what I really appreciated about the game, and I think what helped me even appreciate it more, was that the documentary came out at the same time, or I watched it after I played the game, and it sort of just pointed out like why I really liked the movie so much and why I thought the game was like the best thing I could say about the game is like they did a great job of like rendering RoboCop and like the locations in the game, and some of the voice work is good, but like
RoboCop,
it doesn't have the magic of RoboCop. Like it's literally a shell of what the movie is. Yeah, it's not a great game.
Number 5.
But I didn't play that many games. It's number 5.
Sure.
There it is.
What you got there, Ship?
I played a lot of games this year, but a lot of them were not from this year. And then some of the ones I did not want to put in my top 5 that I played that were this year that I didn't think were.
It's okay. There's no real rules. So
no, there are. I'm setting them. It's fine.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
So this one, it came out on other platforms in a previous year, but this was the year it came to Xbox. It was Loop Hero.
Yes.
And even though I played the majority of that on the PC, I think last week I said I had like 70 something hours in Loop Hero.
Yes.
Yes, I like the simplicity of that game and the structure of it, of building your towns and the interaction there and the randomness as you go around and unlocking things. It has a set amount of time to it, right? So like, you're going to sit down, you're going to play for 5 to 15 minutes maximum, and then you're going to be like, all right, I paid my 15 minutes today, I'm going to go to work now. So yeah, it was very good.
I'm glad I recommended that game to you.
I don't think you did.
I did.
I'm gonna stick with the same way you told GP did.
Big door prize.
Yeah.
All right, Wombat, you're up.
It's fair. What did I pick?
I know you recommended that to me. I
I
do
know.
that.
I'm teasing. It's fine. I picked, and the only reason why I have this low on my list is because I have not finished it yet because I only recently picked it up. But I have a feeling that if I finished it this year, it would be on my list, and that would be Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
I don't think anyone's going to question that either. That logic. It's very solid. It's a very solid Spider-Man game. It's got Spider-Man in it, and it has all the things that you'd like about having games with Spider-Man in it in that game. So Spider-Man 2.
I
What else
watched
is
the
there to say?
videos on YouTube. That's how good it is. They have like people record themselves in 4K HDR, swinging like expert swingers.
Mhm.
and
And now's the time to like randomly shout out Kraven the Hunter.
Exactly. Kraven the Hunter is in that game. Yes, he is the big bad.
I feel like Wombat and I may have one game in common on the list this year.
I find that so hard to believe.
I
but
know,
we'll see.
but I feel like it might happen.
Well, you're next. So what is it?
Oh, we're gonna find out right now.
Yes, that's what I literally just said.
Cyberpunk 2077.
I did not put Cyberpunk 2077 on my list, but sorry.
I obviously did not come out this year, but they updated it so much this year. They really changed the game a lot. And I played a lot. I played like 40 hours of that game this year.
No, that's a good amount. It was my third most played game on the Xbox, and yet I didn't put it on my list. But yes, that's a very good game.
Yeah, I mean, it's especially when they redid all the skill tree stuff, and now you can just make your guy into like a guy who floats in the air, basically slashing people and deflecting bullets with a sword. Pretty rewarding, And I paid $5 for it, so I'm pretty excited with that investment.
That's a good investment.
Yeah.
My number
Yes.
4 is Disney Illusion Island, the Switch
Ah.
game. So that one, yeah, it was just it's kind of a casual Metroidvania. So like I never played the co-op because I thought I would be absolutely driven insane by trying to have people follow where I was going, platforming and solving puzzles and battling bosses and everything. It just did not sound like that was going to be enjoyable at all. So I did not tell my kids until I was after I was finished with the game that it was a multiplayer game.
I've never seen a video of this or picture of this game before.
Oh, it looks great.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it right now.
It has that modern Mickey Mouse look to it of those newer cartoons. Which, if you've never watched the newer Mickey Mouse cartoons, GP,
I'm not.
Or
they are
rides.
so good. Those new Mickey Mouse cartoons are so good.
I'm a
And the ride's
50-year-old
fantastic,
dude
too.
guy with a teenage son. We're not watching Mickey Mouse cartoons. In
They're
this
not-
I
house.
have a feeling if you rode the ride though, you'd at least smile.
I'm telling you, those cartoons not for kids. There's some weird shit in those cartoons.
Like Goofy, he is driving a train. He's the conductor of a train,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't go well.
Nope.
You can imagine that.
I can't. It's hijinks.
Yes.
Hijinks ensue.
Mm.
There's some good shit.
It is.
Anyway.
This game's it's well put together. It's not difficult. I guess you could make it more difficult, like to like one hit kills if you wanted to, but I don't know why you would possibly want to do that. But I went through and I found I don't remember if I completed all the collectibles, but I got real close to getting all
Is
the
this
collectibles.
Nintendo published?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
think so. I'm not
Like,
sure.
why is it exclusive to the Switch? I guess is really my question.
I don't know. I feel like maybe it's going to come at a different time to other platforms.
Which sounds plausible if it's not Nintendo published. That's why I
It's
asked.
published by Disney Electronic Content,
Hmm.
the DEC.
The DGC.
You down with DEC?
Hmm.
I didn't know Disney published games anymore. Did you?
Me neither.
You're back.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, are we back to me, by the way? Or are you
Maybe.
still talking about Mickey Mouse?
I think we're back to you.
I mean, I can continue to talk about Mickey Mouse, but
Who can?
No.
great.
I put on my list, and this is a controversial pick because I know people have a lot of things to say about it, and I will address it in the pick.
Jeffrey
that is-
Epstein's Pro Golf. No, it's not that.
No, it's first of all, it's Jeffrey Epstein's Flight Simulator.
Oh, right.
But no, it is Mortal Kombat 1. the new Mortal Kombat
Why is it
game.
controversial?
It's controversial because it has a lot of things for sale, post sale, in an item shop, similar to a free to play game, and the prices are a little steep for some of the offerings. They were charging at one point $14 for a fatality, and that was kind of shitty. And then they changed
How
it
many did
where
you buy?
I didn't buy any.
Was it good?
Huh? A
Was
good.
it a good
It was like
fatality?
it was like a Halloween fatality. And then-
Oh, FOMO.
Spooky.
yeah. Yeah. So I didn't get that. But anyway, so I understand the criticism, but I think outside of that criticism, it's one of the best Mortal Kombat games I've played. It's a really strong game. There's a lot to do. The story mode obviously is crazy. It reboots the storyline of Mortal Kombat because that's a thing that needed to happen. But there's a good amount of single player content, and the characters are all interesting. It has all your favorites and a couple of new characters, and I don't know. It's just a really good Mortal Kombat game that I found myself like you said, like you and Loop Hero. I know that I'm gonna play this. It's gonna 5 minutes of Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna unlock some shit and I'm gonna go about the rest of my day. So yeah, it's they streamline. It's very streamlined compared to Mortal Kombat 11, which I mentioned before, and it really is to the game's benefit. What hurts it is them trying to sell all that shit later
And not having RoboCop.
and not having RoboCop or
Bitches
Leatherface.
leave.
Oh, I hit the wrong RoboCop button. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
My bad.
You got Red Foreman instead.
He was in the RoboCop doc.
Yes, that doesn't surprise me.
Everybody was pretty much.
You're
except
up next.
The dead people.
Mikey.
I'm up next. My number 3 favorite game of 2023. Now, this is controversial, unlike your pick, Wombat. Hogwarts Legacy. Controversial.
For Switch?
No, we played it on the Xbox Series X. Remember, I got it from my library and we finished it. Mrs. Cheapy and I, she sat there and we finished the game. It was pretty good third person action adventure game. I don't really care much about Harry Potter, but you have like a wand and you can shoot the people and then make them fly around and combos and.
I still want to play this game, but yeah, good.
Yep, it was. Who's next?
I am. My genre is survivors.
Okay, yes, survivors, yes.
Yeah. It is Army of Ruin.
Okay.
So this is like last year's Vampire Survivors, except they modernized the graphics, right? It's like instead of being a retro looking game, it's a modern looking game that has all that same gameplay mechanics, but it's not a total ripoff of it. Like it doesn't like copy it beat for beat.
Okay.
So
Inspired by,
and there's many inspirations by this year.
I got an email about a first person shooter Vampire Survivors.
I'm sure they're like it
I
makes
feel
sense,
like
right?
that would just make me nauseous. But
wait, do you auto shoot? Is that what's going on?
yeah, it's an auto shoot first person. It's a survivor style game.
I could see that working.
Yeah, I should send you the email. I think it was only
you couldn't
like
have nearly the
$5.
amount of like enemies. Like that would
that would
be
I
horrible.
don't know, and I'm like, I don't want to find out. Was sort of my.
But yeah, I think it's like $8 or something. Army of Ruin is, and I've probably put. It didn't show up on my Xbox report, which I find like surprising that I have not put at least 50 hours into this year.
Wait, my Xbox report only gave me 3 games. I'm pretty sure.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, give
Which
me 3.
sucks, by the way.
Yeah, like why? What are you holding back?
Right.
Like just show me the whole list. Like just give it to me. But yeah, it's very good. I'm nearly 100% at this point. I think I have like probably like 10 more things to unlock. But yeah, really good. Army of Ruin. I think there was a CAGcast listener turned me on to that one. So
I should have looked up what that looked like. Army of Ruin.
I think you've looked it up before.
Yes,
It's,
I did.
Yeah.
Looks
It's
cool.
got a nice look to it.
Yep. Who's next? Wombat.
It's only 3 of us. So I put down as my number 2 and number 1 game are really tied, but for number 2, I'm going to put the Diablo 4 in that slot. I finished that game. I played that game. When I first got that game, I couldn't put it down. And then I played that game and I finished that game. And then I played a good amount of the first season when they came out with the season for that game.
Right.
And I think I have like 4 characters created in that game now. Like that's another game. Like sometimes I'm just be like, you know what? It's crappy outside and my kids don't need me. I think I'm going to play a little Diablo just to kill some time because that's a fun thing to do. And there it is. I mean, it does a good job it does a really good job at being Diablo.
They did it.
They did it. They made the game that I wanted it to be. I don't think it's the game that a lot of other people want it to be. And again, I hear you and I see you and I understand what your problems are, but I really like what that game is for what it is.
I'm looking forward to playing it on Game Pass in the near future.
That might happen because it's, that's all one company now. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that'll
after Spyro.
And I made a barbarian that looks like Mr. T and
can't lose.
Cool. Can't lose with that. You really can't.
Can't get on an airplane, but can't lose.
It's okay.
My number 2 game is like you, Wombat, a game that I can just play for like 20 minutes or so. Apex Legends. I played it a lot this year, 160 something hours. And I'm still not that good. But they got me with the addictive battle royale. That's all.
All right, that's fair.
I don't have to say anything else about it.
Nope.
Why learn these new games when I can just play this game?
But you know what? I guarantee you Apex Legends 2023 is not the same game as Apex Legends 2022.
There's a lot more different characters. They've added a lot more.
Different
more maps. RoboCop, not in the game, unfortunately.
That's a shame.
Post Malone had a thing, but he was not in the game either. Just his name. Anyway, that's my number 2 pick, Apex Legends.
What you got there, Ship?
I got Super Mario Brothers Wonder for the Switch.
Oh, that's a Switch game I actually would want to play very much.
Yeah.
So
they know how to make those Mario games really, really good.
Yep. That does not surprise me.
So yeah, that I've talked a lot about that game. I still need to go back and completely get all there is to get in that game, but I've got a good portion of it at this point. Yeah, it's just like it takes you back to playing those 2D Mario games that we grew up with, right? Like it's like, oh, okay, they've taken it. I don't have to build levels, right? Like it's none of that nonsense. It's just like it's even better than like the new Super Mario Brothers when they were doing those. Remember that they were like pretty good.
I like those. I like those a lot.
Pretty good. Yeah, they were good. But this one is like, we've made it a little bit like more modern. Like it looks better. Like the animation is just so much better. Like it does like those wonder seeds that go and just make it wacky. It's just like, okay, like they didn't just make a standard like Mario game. Like they're having fun and kind of like pushing like what you can do with Mario. So it's very good.
When you play that, do you play that on the TV or just on the handheld?
I mainly played it on the handheld. That's usually how I play Switch for the most part.
I figured.
Yeah.
Too far to walk to get to the TV.
Well, it's usually when my kids are playing something on the TV. Is usually when the Switch time is for me.
Makes sense.
Yes.
All right, Wombat. Number 1.
What's my number 1 game, Chiefy?
Fortnite.
Yes, it is. Fortnite again. Can't go wrong.
Which one?
The Guitar Hero Fortnite.
I'm going to say 0 builds, if you want me to be specific.
Thank you.
There you go. Fortnite 0 builds Battle Royale. It's still the game I play by far the most of any other game. it would be silly and dishonest for me to put anything else at number one. It is a literal section on this very show. And also, to be fair, it is not the same game, and it was not the same game in 2023 that it was in 2022. New maps, new everything. And
Lego.
as Chip knows, they added the big Lego thing.
And RoboCop.
And RoboCop is in there. Though he hasn't been. Actually, I think he was for sale at some point in the past year.
He's taken over all the games.
Yep, I got the Terminator in my Fortnite. That's why.
Also a good one. That
was one of my purchases this year in that game. Was Terminator he's got the robot arm and the red eye and the Schwarzenegger face.
I would like to dance the shout with him with my RoboCop.
I have that emote and I could do that and you could emote with me. So I could. That is something that can be made to happen.
And you can bring some of your friends who have some other characters that we enjoy.
Yes, like Michael Myers and let's see, and Peter Griffin.
Eminem maybe.
And Eminem.
If you like him.
Mm-hmm. And The Weeknd. Bruno Mars.
Sure. I don't know. Yeah, I like that. All right, very good.
Rick from Rick and Morty.
No, isn't he canceled?
I don't know. All the characters from The Walking Dead, I feel like, are in there. Iron Man, Spider-Man, multiple Spider-Man.
I mean, that's good. That's going to get Chip in. A
A
little bit louder now. A little bit louder now.
You get a little Tom Holland Spider-Man. You get comic book Spider-Man.
We have not touched Fortnite since the last episode.
That's fine.
It is GS3 nonstop over here.
That's okay.
Yep.
It's my turn for number one.
Yes, your turn number one.
My number one game is a game that we just started playing, but are already like on chapter 4, I think, and that is Alan Wake 2, which I was always a big fan of the first one, and second one is even better than the first one.
It's very appropriate. R.I.P. James McCaffrey, who I believe was voiced in that game, the original Max Payne.
Oh, is he in Alan Wake 2 as well?
Yeah, he was in Alan Wake 2 as well. Super nice guy who I was lucky enough to work with on Max Payne.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would say, I didn't know anything about Alan Wake 2 going into it. And the best thing I could say to describe it to somebody without any spoilers, if you're familiar with the HBO show True Detective, I think they did a really good job of channeling that show and making that into a video game, to the point where you could make other video games with this sort of formula. The way it's different than the first one in the way they've structured the game, and it's pretty great. I think you enjoy it much more just going in as blind as possible. So I wouldn't even tell you the structure of the game, but it's very original and works well as modern media.
I love modern media.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
I think that would have been on my list had I played it. But
yeah.
It's tough, because now I have time, because it's Christmas break, right? Holiday break, winter break, whatever I'm supposed to call this thing. And the kids are staying up late, right?
They can't be looking at what's going on the screen for that game.
Right.
They won't be sleeping much.
Yeah. So I think this is after the kids are back in school, then I think that's when I swoop in and start hammering away in the evening.
Don't they want to spend a couple of nights at grandma's house?
I feel like that's not going to get me. I need to be playing it every night.
I guess.
I don't want to play it for 2 days and then put it down for 2 weeks.
No, you can't. You wouldn't like that.
Right. I want to be able to this is my thing here for I don't know, 2-3 weeks, however long it's going to take me to hammer through it.
Although I will say that I feel like there may be some systems in the game to support that type of play.
Oh, I'm sure. The last time on Alan Wake.
But no, they don't. It's cool. I don't want to say anything.
Okay,
they did a great job of making a sequel that's not derivative, which is who does that? It's cool.
Remedy.
Yeah, it's great.
So what's
That's
your
a
number
perfect
one?
segue into my number one, Marvel Spider-Man 2. They made this. They made the third game of these Spider-Man games,
Yeah.
and it's pretty much just like the first two Spider-Man games, but it's still really good. I just I hope for the next one. Like this might be enough of this, like anytime soon. Which I know if we look at the leaks, we can see the next one isn't anytime soon.
Right.
But yeah, like they've perfected this formula of game, right? And they like my biggest complaint about this one, which I said before, was just like it didn't go weird enough or original enough in the story. Like it just played it a little bit like close to stories that have already been told many times. Yeah. Where I thought the first two games were much more unique in the stories because you get like nobody knows who Mr. Negative is. Like who is this guy, right?
Right. I never heard of him. Right.
Like, and then it's the Miles game. It's like, okay, we know who Miles is, but like there's some stories there that we haven't been hearing for the like past 30 plus years, right? Of having Spider-Man stories. Whereas this one, it's much more traditional of like, hey, Craven's here. What's Craven here to do? Oh, he's hunting people in the city.
Right. That's what he does. That's his thing.
Right. That's what he does. So, and there's more to it. I'm not going to spoil the whole storyline and everything, but they do a good job of having you play as both of like Peter Parker and Miles Morales. I will say like Dashel was disappointed that there was no like co-op option, which I know is a completely different like ask for this game. But when you have two Spider-Men,
that would be a little. I would want that.
You would want that.
I would not.
How would they do it though?
I mean, I would assume it would just be on screen together. I mean,
correct.
For the fighting, it would work.
It's an open world game.
Yeah,
you could have two Spider-Man going around doing Spider-Man stuff.
I guess it would just feel very cluttered. I wouldn't want to see that on half a screen while the other Spider-Man goes off in another direction, and all of a sudden the screen splits and you have the line in the middle. And
the line's always in the middle. You don't do that. Nobody does that split. That was a Lego thing that they tried and it failed like 17 Lego games ago. Like that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, that would drive me nuts. No. I'm going to give that a big no.
Well, you wouldn't have to do it.
That's fair.
Right? Like
I'm saying I wouldn't want to play it. You're right. But if you think it should be there, then by all means.
I'm just saying there's two Spider-Men in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's not crazy.
Just doing the math on it. But
don't you think online is more likely than on the same system?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, like they've made a lot of game there, right? It's just I would like something more than just like it's my number one game of the year, right? It's my favorite game, but I would like it to expand to something new beyond the formula that they have at this point with these Spider-Man games. And that's I'm hoping like that X-Men or the Wolverine game is just not the Spider-Man game without swinging.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Well, he has parkour.
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine parkour. I saw that video. Use the claws. Right into the wall.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Wolverine, like I don't know, you just kind of want him to show up somewhere and beat people up. You're not really concerned about how he's getting somewhere.
A motorcycle, you would think.
Right. Yeah. But he's just like, you don't have to like, I've never thought like, I want to watch Wolverine like
climb up a building
to where he's going and then like climb up a building. It's like, no, I want to see him like beat up some people
and be angry
for
no reason.
Slice off someone's arm.
Right.
Yeah.
And say bub. Say bub a lot. There should be a button for bub.
Yeah.
Did that leak?
I mean-
Did we? The triangle?
It's push B for bub.
Triangle.
Mm-hmm. You slide your finger on that thing in the middle of
That's how
the controller
For bub or for the claws to come out?
for bub. You slide for bub.
Oh man, how loud is that gonna like make the claw sound, the snick sound
Oh, every
through
time
the controller?
It's
Yeah.
gonna go.
It's you're just gonna have to recharge your controller every time you take out his claws. It's just gonna take up so much power.
You
To just,
swipe up for claws. You
Yeah.
swipe left for bub.
Okay.
You got it?
Got it. I'm writing that down.
Okay. Bub.